Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your entrepreneurship tutor, Professor Henry Buisa of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Today, I want to share with you how I use the Bible to teach entrepreneurship. Yes, I want to look at some Bible verses that you can actually use to teach yourself entrepreneurship, and the ones that I normally use also to teach entrepreneurship. But first things first, it was way back in 2017 when the Anglican Church of Kenya, the ACK, engaged me to talk entrepreneurship to its faithful in their Nairobi branches. That link that you see down there is that talk of mine. Now, I used examples of people who have become very rich doing entrepreneurship. Look, Bill Gates among them. In fact, in 2017, he was listed as the richest person in the world. That Bill Gates of Microsoft and all those others. So I talked praisingly about riches, about money, about entrepreneurship, and making us get lots of money. Then, at one health break, a faithful approached me and asked, "Why do you want us to be very rich with money? Yet the Bible tells us money is not everything." Well, I reflected on that, and this made me walk down my own memory lane. I remembered the 50s and 60s when I was doing my primary school at Kimilili FYM, which is in present-day Bungoma County. And I remembered my favorite Sunday school teacher, Sarah Namaemba, rest in peace. She would repeatedly read us certain verses. Matthew 19:24. I will say it again. It is easier for a camel to go through the eyes of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God. Now, our interpretation at that time was just one, that it does not pay to be rich, and we became proud of being poor as children, knowing that that was our passport to heaven. Our childhood entrepreneurship spirits were dampened. Of course, there are other interpretations of that same verse. Look, the needle, the camel. The camel is struggling in that picture to go through a needle. It can't. Then Hebrews 13:5. Don't love money. Be satisfied with what you have. And Matthew 6:24. No one can serve two masters. You cannot serve God and money. So, you have a choice either to love God or to love money. And then of course, would be told, God made man. Man made money. Money made man mad. All these were discouragements about making money. And here I was, talking to the faithful about making money. So, indeed, direct interpretation of certain verses in the Bible made our childhood entrepreneurship spirits dampen completely. Many of us, therefore, developed an inverse relationship between the Bible and entrepreneurship. Economists know this curve, like a demand curve. The price is on the vertical axis and the quantity demanded on the horizontal axis. Now let's replace price with the Bible and the quantity with entrepreneurship. you can see therefore that the higher the price or the higher the Bible, the lower the quantity bought or the lower the entrepreneurship. And the lower the price or the lower the Bible, then the more the quantity bought or the more the entrepreneurship. Yes, that's it. That sunk into our mind, our psyche, that if I do more of the Bible, then that actually killing entrepreneurs and vice versa. So entrepreneurs, rich people, were negatively looked at. And the parents would also tell us, discourage us from loving money. That when children love money at early stage, they'll become thieves. So all that type of messages from the interpretation of the Bible verses killed our childhood entrepreneurship. That is my own memory lane. But then I grew up and I started my own interpretations of some of those verses that I was told. And today I read and interpret some and use them actually to teach entrepreneurship. In other words, like that picture shows, I now look at some verses through the microscope, not directly verbatim as they are written. Look, Genesis chapter 1 verses 1 to 3 is talking about, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. It goes on to say, and God said, let there be light. You see all that. This verse I interpret it to mean God was creative, innovative, creation. And entrepreneurship is about creativity and innovativeness. God brought something out of nothing. God brought order out of chaos. So, my conclusion is that God was the first entrepreneur, creative, innovative. And then in Genesis 1:27, we are told that God created man in his own image. So indeed, if God was the first entrepreneur, creative, innovative, and he created us in his own image, therefore we can be entrepreneurs. We are entrepreneurs. So I reflect on Bill Gates' message that if you are born poor, that's not your mistake. But should you die poor, that will be your own mistake. I think it holds a lot of water for me. It tells us that we were born entrepreneurs. We only think that we're born poor, but we go on believing that we're born poor and we don't get into entrepreneurs. But it's telling us, no, there's an entrepreneur in you. Don't die poor, even if you're born poor. What about Matthew 25, the verses 14 to 30? This is the parable of the talents. The story speaks of work, investment, and profits. That we should not only work hard, but work smart too. It's about entrepreneurship and the proper use of scarce economic resources. So the simplest lesson I gather from this parable is that it isn't immoral to profit from our resources, from our wit, and from our labor. This is what entrepreneurship teaches us, for heaven's sake. So you see, the parable of the talents teaches us that we should invest what we have been given and multiply what we have been given. Profit is not immoral. And then Proverbs 10:4, lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. I'm tempted to think that Benjamin Franklin was thinking about this when he said, God helps those who help themselves. Of course, Christians are right to say that verse does not appear in the Bible. But who tells you that it has to be in the Bible? the interpretation of this Proverbs 10:4, that if you are lazy and you don't help yourself, you are destined for poverty. But if you are hardworking, then God will help you. Here, the Bible encourages entrepreneurship. In my own interpretation, a characteristic of entrepreneurs is hard work. In the parable of the talent, we see that hard work is rewarded. So, although no verse says what Benjamin Franklin said, but the unwritten message here is that God helps those who help themselves. The king helped the servant who helped himself by investing the money and multiplying it. Proverbs 24. Sluggards do not plow in season, so at harvest time they look but find nothing. Well, this is teaching us about opportunity identification, and that is what entrepreneurs always do. Look at that picture. If you want something in your life you have never had, you will have to do something you've never done. You have to look for those opportunities. Look at that fish. Looks like it feels it's overcrowded with others in one single pot. So what is it doing? It is doing something that's never done, jumping out to look for fresher or greener pastures, so to speak. So even you have to do something extraordinary if you want to harvest. And that's what Proverbs is telling us. Matthew 7:12. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. Yes, this verse is teaching us about caring for a customer service, customer care. That if you want to be treated or want others to treat you well, then also do the same. Whatever you wish your customers to take from you, to pick from you, put yourself in their shoes. And indeed, entrepreneurs talk about the customer is king. There is only one boss, the customer, and he can fire everybody in the company from the chairman on down simply by spending his money somewhere else. So do unto that customer what you'd want others to do unto you. And Mahatma Gandhi tells us the customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption on our work. He is the purpose of it. In business, he is not an outsider in our business. He is part of it. We are not doing him a favor by serving him. He is doing us a favor by giving us an opportunity to do so. So, whatever you wish that the customer would do to you, also do that favor to the customer, for this is the law. Proverbs 14:23. In all toil there is profit, but mere talk tends only to poverty. Yes, Walt Disney tells us the way to get started in business is to quit talking and start doing. In all toil there is profit, but mere talk tends only to poverty. So profit, again, the Bible tells us profit is not immoral. Profit is good. Yes, and Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. And Luke 14:28 adds, Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? Surely, this is teaching business planning. It is telling us that failing to plan means planning to fail. So here is a message that you must be systematic in doing entrepreneurship, in going into business. You must do planning, business planning. And Ecclesiastes 10:19, bread is made for laughter, and wine gladdens life, and the money answers everything. My. This is a direct answer to the faithful who talked about discouragement of riches and money. I am persuaded that money isn't everything, but everything needs money. I am persuaded that money is only important when you don't have any. Try not having money, then you'll realize how important money is. And even that Bible that we read, even that Quran that we read, it requires money to publish. You need money to buy it. So my view of money is this graph, that there is a direct relationship between happiness and money. Look, on the vertical axis I have your values. On the horizontal axis I have the use of money. So depends on your values. Depends on how you got the money, where you got it from, and how you are using it. Rich entrepreneurs, they are philanthropists. Bill Gates, Manu Chandaria, call them. They spend their money helping others, and they are happy doing it. So, if your values are right, a lot of money will bring a lot of happiness, because you'll do a lot of good with that money. Proverbs 16:8. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues with injustice. And the Proverbs 13:11 adds, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. Well, this is discouraging entrepreneurship and encouraging entrepreneurship. Look at this short letter. Dear entrepreneur, premature success rarely lasts as long as delayed success. Wash. Entrepreneurship, abuse of office for gain, will not give you the success you need. Work hard, work smart, pray always. Indeed, we have seen it. That entrepreneurs who are even misappropriating funds made for COVID-19 in some countries, including my own country, Kenya. We are being told the Bible is discouraging that. Entrepreneurship is not entrepreneurship. So those verses are telling us, earn your money little by little, but don't get money, riches with injustice. The Bible tells us that. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. Well, this is teaching us about self-control, self-confidence. Look, there is the lowest person say, I won't do it. But a step higher, I can't do it. Then a step higher, I want to do it. Yes. Then, how do I do it? I'll try to do it. Oh, I can do it. Oh, I will do it. Yes, I did it. That is what Timothy is telling us. You have been given the Spirit. Don't fear to do it. Convince yourself that you can do it, and you'll do it. Remove the I am from that word impossible and let it become possible. Remove the T in that I can't do it, so that it becomes I can do it. This statement, I cannot do it, remove the not. So Timothy is encouraging us to be positive, because that's what God gave us. This is characteristics of entrepreneurs. And then about female entrepreneurship, there is the whole Proverbs that one. It says, of a woman who has a strong work ethic, that 117, makes and sells her own products, that 124, makes sound investments, that 116, and is even able to make a profit, that 118, all while raising a family and running a home. Here we see support for female entrepreneurship. Indeed, entrepreneurship is now focuses on this female gender entrepreneurship, and therefore the Bible supporting the same. So if you enjoyed it, please like it, share it, subscribe to it. And if you feel like supporting us as we do more research to bring you, to share with you these stories, just visit our www.mukmik.co.ke and donate. But if you want us to do a talk for you, motivational entrepreneurship talk, reach our director, buihem@gmail.com. We do it for individuals, we do it for corporate, we even teach business planning, strategic planning, project management. You can reach us on that via that email. Our director will respond to it. Thank you very much, and have an entrepreneurial day. Want you. Indeed, a biblical entrepreneurial day. We shall be talking about religion, other religions later. Thank you.